Hello, and welcome to a Sims 4 speed build. I, over the weekend, downloaded some Build by CC for the first time ever. So if you have a look at the screen now, we are looking at one of the apartments that comes furnished in Evergreen Harbour. So I'm going to go ahead and take out all the furnishings and then renovate this apartment. So I wanted it to be kind of realistic. I kept the doors, but I replaced the floor. I don't know. It's basically I fell in love with this flooring that came with some CC I downloaded, and I had to use it. Also, these tiles, look how shiny they are and how beautiful they are. I loved it so much. But yeah, I downloaded Build by CC for the first time ever, and I just wanted to build something with it. So that's what I did. I built or renovated an apartment. If you don't like CC, that's fine. I totally understand. And if you told me I can never use CC again in my game, I'd be like, okay, fine, because I don't really have an issue with what we get with the game. I think, I do own most of the packs, and I'm pretty happy with it all. But you know, I have seen some amazing CC out there, and I kind of wanted to have a turn, I guess. Um, and yeah, it was a bit of fun for me. But if you don't like CC, that's fine. I didn't upload this to the gallery, so everything on my gallery is CC free. And you can find like my Oregon ID below and everything. But let's start with the kitchen. So we have these kitchen cabinets, which I think in The Sims, the things that I feel like we don't have enough of is clutter, counters for the kitchen, and realistic sofas. So those are kind of the things I downloaded the most for CC, and I also downloaded some paintings and stuff because I was like, oh my goodness. Um, and yeah, I love how all this just clipped together so seamlessly. And there were so many options, and yeah, it was a bit of fun. It really was a bit of fun. Um, it's literally the first time using CC, so I didn't really know what I was doing. You can kind of see I'm like clicking on everything a million times, but yeah, in the end, it works out okay. I kind of wish those shelves were brown, but that's fine. I can deal. It's not a problem. I loved this idea. It's like a counter, but with like a pull-out table, and I thought that was really practical for a small apartment, especially with this apartment. You don't really have a clear dining area, but then it was right near the front door, and if I could have moved to the front door, I would have. But yeah, I don't know. And then the stools were like they were kind of working, and like I could have kept it like that to be honest. But then when you open the fridge, you don't like trip over the stool. And I mean, your Sims would have used it perfectly fine, but as a realistic kind of perspective, I wasn't so sure about it. But yeah, that's the kitchen that we do end up with without the counter table thing. Do they have a name? I don't know. I just ended up putting a normal counter in, and like not the base game, I think it was Eco Lifestyle, the slats that you got. Um, because I really like that as a bit of a divider for the entryway, so it's not like kitchen counter front door. Like, I don't know. I felt like that was a bit weird. And obviously, in the original apartment, they had the kitchen as a separate room, but I did want to open things up a little bit. We also use a CC sink, which I love. I really do love this. Those Butler sinks, in my dream house in real life, I'd love one. So yeah, and also these plants that are CC, I love them. I'm really into plants in real life, so having a couple more options was great. Because I build pretty much every day, and like now that we've been in lockdown since I don't know, have we been in lockdown for 3 or 4 months? I don't know. We've had like probably the harshest lockdown in the world recently. So I've been building like pretty much every day on The Sims. So it was nice to have something different to build with. Those plates as clutter, and you'll see very soon that I use some balls. Like best piece of CC ever. Like how can that make me so happy? Being able to place balls and stack them, like it's ridiculous. It makes no sense, but it really did make me happy. It's the simple things, I guess. Um, I was going to go black mugs because everything kind of blended into the white shelves, but I don't know. It maybe looked better as white, so we went with white. We have a dishcloth or hand towel. I don't know what it's meant to be, and some soap. It looks like Aesop soap, which I think is really cool because, like, if you watch a show like The Block, I swear, like, they're sponsored by Aesop in previous seasons because like every house had like Aesop soap. Aesop, Aesop. I can't say it. That soap. I said the brand too many times and now I can't speak. That brand in every like sink area, but like it's like I don't know, $30 a bottle or $50 a bottle. Like, come on, who can afford that? Also, that fry pan on the stovetop, I really liked it. Um, I probably could have put that on a shelf or something, but yeah. Anyway, I didn't want this to look too empty. It was looking a bit empty, but I didn't want to go overboard with the clutter as well. Like, it's a fine line because you need like spaces to prepare. But yeah, I was having a lot of fun, as you can probably tell, especially the plants. So yeah, we moved the bread box and sized it down a little bit, and then I think I put a microwave in because why not? And I think that's pretty much the kitchen done, to be honest. Also, you're probably not listening to this anymore. And if you are, you're probably around to watch the whole video. But if you don't want to watch the whole video, you can skip forward, and at the end, there are lots of screenshots. Or, follow me on Instagram because I screenshot everything. And often, like a day before I do the editing for the videos, I'll post on to Instagram because I'm really impatient. This kitchen table it was from a CC pack. I believe it's called Tiny Living Plus. So they took things that you received in Tiny Living, but they modified it. So that was a taller table in the pack, and then they've made it like a normal height, which I think is cool. Probably one of the most exciting things for me was the sofas. Because if you've watched my videos before, you know I've always complained about how all the sofas are not realistic. So I finally was able to download some realistic looking sofas, and I found this one where you can piece it together to make pretty much any configuration you want. So because it wasn't a massive room and I did kind of have to squish the dining table in, we went for a pretty small one, to be honest. And you will see, even though it's the same color swatch, it's slightly different in the shading, which is annoying. But I mean, I think when you're playing, you won't notice, to be honest. And it's still fine. But yeah, I really like how they just, piece together. We also have this little IKEA just inspired little table, so we put a lamp there. I realized in like real life you couldn't put a lamp there because it's the middle of the room. So I did do a little potted vase thing, I don't know. And then we do like a IKEA kind of TV unit thing eventually. I also really liked the colors that I used for the paints in this house. Yes, totally just tooting my own horn, but whatever. The weird thing was I wanted to keep things realistic, right? So I kept the same grey doors that the apartment came with, which is kind of dumb because we ripped out a wall and replaced all the flooring, but then I didn't replace the doors. I don't know. It was actually, I think it was like 2 a.m. when I was building this too, so not the best time to use your brain, I guess. But yeah, I feel like this is such a realistic looking living room, to be honest. I could have done a rug, but it's such a small area. I kind of didn't want to like single this area out. It was the lounge room. So yeah, we didn't. I do shuffle that plant across too because I realized there wasn't really any other options. That's I think the is it get to work pot plant, but it's in a more like basket woven pot, which I think is really nice. CC doesn't have to be, drastically different. It's just nice to have some different textures sometimes. We also have this painting, which I think works with the color of the wall on the opposite side of the wall. And yeah, we're going to go into the bathroom next, I think. So if you're wondering about who would live here, it's basically in my head, it's maybe like a mum and a daughter, or two girls, maybe like two not teenage, like two college aged girls that go to uni. I loved this bathroom and the tiles. I love that CC tile, but I was worried it was maybe a little bit too much, especially for such a tiny room. So we end up with the probably yeah, I would call those tiles my favorite tiles from The Sims. I really love them. They're great for kitchens too because they are slightly higher than the counter, so you can have like your splashback and then like normal white paint kind of. We also have this shower screen which I think we would have loved even more before they released the university one, the Sims team official one. So it's great to see that the Sims team maybe does look at CC or see what is missing from the game. I so wanted to use that little IKEA inspired mirror, but it didn't really go, and we had that really fancy decorative one anyway. We've got this towel thing, and I throw some extra towels on it as well. that ladder is really nice, and it's quite realistic. I mean, I don't have one in my bathroom, but I wish I did. We also go for a purple rug. Now, purple is probably the only color out of all the colors that I don't like, to be honest. But I think it does work. I would have loved to have included like a fancy green wall in here too, but then I was thinking like rationally, well, it's a tiny apartment with no lighting, and there's no like skylight. Like maybe if you were in your own house, you could install a skylight in your bathroom. I mean, that's pretty common in Australia, and then your plants might not die, but in this house there's no light. Also, there's not that many windows, and you don't have any control over the windows, which is a bit annoying, but whatever. So we have these, I think, again, IKEA inspired wardrobes. There was a pack, I think it was called SimKea. So if you're looking for the CC, it was Tiny Living Plus, SimKea, and then is it Felix, Andre, and Harry? They've done the kitchen pack and the bathroom pack, I think. I think that's the pretty much all the CC I've used. Some of the paintings and sofas I honestly can't remember, but I either got it from Max's Match CC World or the Sims Resource. So again, that little bedside table is technically CC. It's from the what do you call it? The Tiny Living Plus CC pack. So there's a little bit of a theme in here, like they have yellow pillows, a yellow lamp, and they end up with a yellow seat over in this corner. I wanted to give each girl some activity or something in their room. So this person gets a bookshelf and a seat to read in, which isn't a lot, but these rooms are actually really quite tight. So if you have a look, I'm just looking at all these seats, and I thought this rounded one kind of slotted into that corner really nicely. And that mustard color is really nice. I do love it. We have this wall, and I kind of leave it kind of bland, which I don't know if it was a mistake, but I don't know. I didn't want it to be too busy. So yeah, that's what we end up with. And this is another bedroom, and again, it's really tight. I think this one was one tile smaller in width or depth, one of the two. So they don't even have two bedside tables, but they do have a wardrobe still, and they have a painting easel. So maybe they're an artist or something. I don't know. So that is that, and that's pretty much the whole apartment done now. So I'm going to launch into some screenshots very shortly, but first I want to say a massive thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, or leave a comment below, and you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram. If you have any favorite CC creators, or if you make CC yourself, please leave a comment below and let me know what you make, because I would love to come and have a look at it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.